come through, which is fine. They know we're live, so if you see them go back and forth, that's what's happening there. So today I have some veggies to use up. Hang on a second, I'll get them out. I almost got the chicken scraps out to show you, but I actually needed to get cabbage. So we have some mushrooms, massive pack of mushrooms, and some cabbage that I needed to use up pretty much over the next day or so if I go by the use by date. But I do know that with cabbage, if I store it correctly, I get days and days more out of it. So this isn't as urgent as I thought, but I am going to use it today anyway. The mushrooms are best before the 6th, which is today in Australian time. And it's the only thing that kind of sucks about Aldi is that it's such a, I don't know if it's just that my husband doesn't check for the longest use by date before he buys it, or if they just don't have very far in the use by date. But yeah, so we don't have a lot of time to work with these babies, so we're going to use them today. Actually no, you know what, it's a good thing though, because these would have ended up in the bin otherwise if they stayed at Aldi, so yay, we're doing a good job for the environment. Okay, so I am going to get started. I just need some onions and potatoes as well, but basically we have the mushrooms and the cabbage. We also have a green capsicum and a red one. I've got green carrots that also need using up, an eggplant, which I'm not sure yet if I'm going to use today or not, probably will, and zucchini, and we're just going to wing it. I also have some red lentils that I think I might do too. Oh, you know what we're going to do? One of the things we can make could be like a cabbage roll soup, with lentils and probably mushrooms. I'm kind of going to wing it, and we're just going to see how it plays out. Okay, so potatoes and onions. Garlic. And of course garlic. I always keep the potatoes on that counter because they're a bit dirtier. I'm going to need a can of diced tomatoes. Everything's Aldi pretty much. We are, of course, like every day, going to use spaghetti. So I've got turmeric, cumin. Is that cumin? Yeah. Rosemary, chili flakes, and chili powder. And we need to also get out soy sauce and paprika. So I'm going to get 2 saucepans out and a fry pan. So I think what I'm going to do is make the stuffed cabbage roll soup. I'm not actually going to stuff cabbage. I'm just going to dice it up and chuck it in the soup. But it's going to mimic the flavour of stuffed cabbage rolls. But I'm going to use, red lentils. Hang on. Yeah, it's going to mimic stuffed cabbage, but it's going to be a soup instead. Red lentils. That's going to replace mince, ground beef mince, because I'm doing it plant-based because it's a little healthier, and I'm trying to get a little healthier. So let's get started. I'm going to wash my hands, get a chopping board and a knife ready, and then we're going to wing it a little as we go. But yeah, I'm going to use the mushrooms in probably both soups that I'm going to make today. I'm going to make soup and freeze it. And then I'm going to do maybe a fry up of mushrooms and tomatoes and eggplant. There we go. That's what we're going to use the eggplant for. and I'm gonna eat that today. All right, so I'm just gonna hang out and cook. I'll probably ramble, talk a lot. Feel free to hang out if you want to. You'll see kids, you'll hear dogs, you'll hear my washing machine. That's just life. Okay. So, this is my favorite chopping board. This is my favorite knife. Favorite peeler. And I just need to wash the grater because I used it with cheese for the kids. So I'll just get that ready. Hang on. Okay, the grater's good too. I need 2 saucepans and a fry pan. Nice big ones. More of a wash than I thought it was often. And I always start with a little water down the bottom of the saucepans because that's what we're going to do our onion and garlic in. We'll do a big fry pan. All right, this is going to be tricky because my stovetop isn't big enough for each of these pans. But you know what? We're just going to work with it. We'll wing it. See how it goes. How are we going to make this work? Yeah, we're going to have to use a small fry pan. And just hope for the best. Ah, I don't want to do that. Which one's bigger? That's slightly bigger. You know what? Let's just see where the day takes us, hey? All right, so I'm going to start with 3 onions. Do you want to point down and watch me cook? Yeah, that's the easiest way, I think. Hang on. Okay, I'm just going to turn you a little bit. Bring you forward a little. And then we'll be good to start. So I'm not really using a recipe here. I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. But that's the beautiful thing about veggie-based recipes is you don't need an actual recipe. You can just wing it a little. veggies you can eat raw. Okay, so we're going to start with onions. We're going to do 1 onion per pot, so that's 3 onions. 1, 2, 3, and I prep them all the same way. Okay, so let's get chopping. Make your lunch at the same time if you want to, or your dinner if you're overseas. Might be dinner time where you are, but it's lunchtime where we are. I've already fed the kids. So they're not pets, but you know what I mean. We've done lunch for the kids already, which is great. Because then I'm not under any pressure to do this really, really quickly, you know. So I'm just going to roughly chop because I don't mind roughly chopped onion. But if you like your onion in very, very small pieces, then you're going to want to dice it really finely. But I am a lazy cook. Minimal effort, maximum enjoyment is what I'm aiming for. Alright, this onion's going in the first pot. Let's do number 2. This nice big one will go in the big pot. They're 2 big pots, but one's bigger than the other. Alrighty. This is, what soup are we making this one? Yeah, this is going to be a dice as well. And then the last onion I'm just going to slice because I'm going to make dumpling soup with the last one, but minus dumplings. So kind of like a veggie broth that you can use dumplings in later when you defrost it. I usually make that one with dumplings, make them all at the same time and then freeze it all, but I'm making, what, 3 meals? I don't think I can do 3 meals and, just cross-check this for a second, I don't think I can do 3 meals and dumplings in the one go. My kids will wonder where I am. I'm also a little bit worried that I don't have enough containers for all of these, but that's okay. Okay, that's in number 2. And I just realised I put the diced onion in the wrong pot, so I'm just switching that over to the fry pan. Alright, let's do onion number 3. Is there anything more relaxing than chopping up vegetables? Okay, going to the movies, but you know what I mean. There's actually a lot of things more relaxing than chopping up vegetables, but I just love that sort of rhythm that you get into when you're prepping a meal, especially when I'm cooking it at lunchtime, because there's no pressure, there's no witching hour, there's no starving kids or husband or people that are like dying to eat, so you don't have that sort of under the pump feeling. And I'm lucky enough to be at home during the day, so I might as well enjoy it, right? Okay. Alright, that's onion. I better get a bowl for the scraps as we go. And that way we can take all of the veggie scraps straight up to the chickens when we're done. Alright, so the onion's done. Let's do garlic next. I'm just going to kind of whack 3 of these out. 1, 2, actually just 2 is enough, because with the cabbage roll soup, I'm just going to use paprika and keep that one really, really simple. Okay. 1. Yeah, honey.
Is there any more pasta?
Yeah, sure. There's some in the fridge. Okay. Check with your sister and see if she wants any more, and if she doesn't, you can have the rest.
Any more pasta,
You can microwave it on your plate or you can microwave it in the container. Either way is fine. I do about 10, 15, 20 seconds.
I don't need to microwave.
Oh yeah, you like it cold. Alright, so garlic. I'm just going to chop it nice and fine.
Put that back in the fridge. I just put it in the water sink.
Thank you, honey. That's perfect. And can you have some water too, please?
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, that's small enough. Let's do the other one. This is my version of fine. I'm not a chef, as you can see. All right. And we just do a little cross chop. That's better. So this one I'm going to put in the stew and the dumpling. I'm going to call it dumpling soup because it's just what I call it, but it's not. It won't have dumplings. It's not official. So sorry, everybody. I just don't know what else to call it. Veggie broth. I'll just call it that. Okay, so one for the stew, one for the bugger. I did the wrong one. You know what? We're going to do 3 lots of garlic. Everything's going to have garlic because I keep mixing up what I'm cooking in which thing. And that's got to be a sign, right? So we'll do one more. And I'm okay with that. Because I've never made a dish with garlic in it that I haven't enjoyed. Yeah, the one thing I'm a bit concerned about is whether or not I have enough containers to store the leftovers and freeze them. Because my husband and kids are still eating meat-based and oil cooking, and I'm doing plant-based and oil-free. So I just cook my meals for the week and freeze them, and then I heat them up at night, have them with potatoes or rice or pasta. So I store all of mine because it takes a good week to get through them all. And I'm wondering if I have enough containers to keep them in. But we'll find out. Okay. That will do. Okay. Right, we've got onion and everything. We've got garlic and everything. And now we are going to saute those lightly. I'm just turning the stove on. I'll give them all a bit of a mix with the spoon. Same spoon for all the dishes, no big deal. Alright. Right, next we're going to do carrot. So I'm just going to peel the carrot straight into the chicken scraps bowl. I'm doing that behind you so you won't see that, sorry. We're going to put carrot into 2 of the dishes, maybe 3, but definitely 2. So I want to start with some ribbons of carrot. So basically I'm just going to take the peeler, peel it down. Now no one in my family is going to mind if I eat all the carrots. So if we use all 3, that's okay. No one's ever said to me, "What, you forgot the carrots, Mum?" So I know that that's not going to be a huge deal. Oh, I can hear that onion starting to sizzle. So that's a great sign. that in for now, and we'll add more later if we need to. That's going into the veggie broth. And I'm just going to fill up my kettle with cold water and use that to pour extra water in the pan. Because the water that I'm sauteing the onions and garlic in, it's going to dry out pretty quickly. And I always like to have more water on hand to pour in. Little stir. I think I will use carrot in everything today. So now we're going to grate. Just grating the rest of the carrot. And chickens can have the top. This one will go in the second one. And let's do one more. So again, I'm just going to peel it straight into the scrap bowl for the chicken. And for this one, I'll just do a few more little ribbons for the first one. And then the rest of the grated carrot I'm going to split over the next two dishes. Just the one with the broth. It's so nice to have the carrot ribbons because they look so beautiful. Okay, now we get grating. The best thing about carrot when you grate it and put it in a dish is it kind of dissolves and disappears. So if you're not a massive carrot fan, like I'm not a massive carrot fan at all, then this is really handy. And if you grate it really, really fine on the fine side, then your kids will love it too. I find grating so much easier with carrots. Alright, rest for the chickens. I'll get this out. And I'm going to go put this in the pot. We need to add a little more water. You right, George? Okay. Okay, next is mushrooms. So you don't have to wash mushrooms, you can just wipe them down or peel them. But I just find washing is a lot quicker and easier, so I wash mine. I'm going to leave these in this container, wash them all together in there, and then I'll be back. Oh, I do have to keep a couple for pizzas actually, so I'll do that. I think we're going to make pizza tonight. And we need mushrooms for pizza. Okay, so mushrooms, I'm going to leave maybe 4 or 5 for pizzas tonight. And then we're going to put the rest in the soups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm just going to eat one now while I'm talking. Okay. Rough chop is fine. And yes, I eat the stems as well. They're edible. They've never hurt me. And why waste them, right? Something is bubbling on the stove. So I'm going to go and check out, maybe turn the heat down. I will be back. Alrighty. I suppose this is a weird video to be watching, sorry, because I'm all over the place, but, you know, if you too need to cook up a whole lot of stuff in one go, then maybe it's helpful for you as well. Who knows? Okay, let's put these in. So some in the veggie broth, some in today's cooking. Oh, that's looking good. And the rest I'm saving for pizza. Oh, I better let them dry out a bit. Alright, next I need to do lentils. For this one it just says 1 cup of lentils to 3 cups of water, bring to a boil, simmer for 10 minutes. That's good. And it doesn't look like I have to soak these, so that's good. Nope, that's fine. So I'm going to use about a cup of lentils, and I will give them a bit of a rinse. So let's pour. That's about a cup. No, it's not. Was that about a cup? No. Yep, that's a cup. Alright, I'll rinse these. And have a little colander here. Alright, so these are the lentils rinsed. They're going to go straight in my big pot. Now I'm going to pour 3 cups of water in. 1, 2, and 3. Actually, I'm going to do 3.5 so that I don't have to babysit and they can just get cooking away. Alright. My mushrooms are coming along very nicely. And my veggie broth is the one we need to focus on next. So, let's do that. Okay, next veggies, red capsicum. This is going to be very nice in the broth. And I'll do 3/4 and then save the rest for snack. So basically that's just a quick slice. Actually a quick chop. I'm not very good at my terms, am I? But see how it doesn't have to be perfect? Okay, so that's going in. Now we need the green capsicum. I'll just do 2 of those, I think. You don't want to do a veggie broth without a little bit of greenery in there. So a little slice. It's got a little thing on it. Nice and quick. Cut these in half, and I hear some bubbling, so I'll go check on the pots. Alright. Oh, cabbage. I forgot to put the cabbage in. We need cabbage in our cabbage, stuffed cabbage soup, everybody. Can't believe I forgot that, hey? Filling up my kettle again so I can add more water. Okay, so cabbage is next. To do. I've pre-washed this one, so I'm just going to chop it, put it straight in the soup, and then we're good to go. Chickens can have the middle bit. ready. That's going in with the lentils. And then of course we're going to need to add more water to that. And then we're going to add the diced tomatoes as well. So nice and easy. Pour them straight in. I should bring you over to the stove, darling, so that you can all see better. Okay. Now, let's get some spices going in these things too. I'm going to bring you over to the stove because you'll be able to see better. You can't just watch me chop all day. Let's bring you to the stove. Can you see? I don't think you can see all three though, can you? Let's have a look. There we go. You might fall off the counter, but you can see all three. Yeah, that works. Okay. So, up the back, this is our stuffed cabbage roll style soup. That needs spices. So let's get the paprika ready. And you're going to need at least a teaspoon of paprika. I like a big teaspoon. Okay. And then we give that a stir. Gonna move that over. Which one of you is making that noise? Okay, so big stir for this one. So remember, this one has onions, garlic, carrot, red lentils, and cabbage. And then this one has onions, garlic, carrot, mushrooms, green and red capsicum. I'm going to put some spices in this one now too. So spices for this one will be this one is going to be super easy. I'm just going to do a big spoon or two of vegeta. Okay. And then a quarter cup of soy sauce and a lot of extra water. Oh, can't get it open. So a quarter cup. And then your soy sauce can go in the fridge. And then we mix. And then chili flakes. I love chili flakes in my soups. Okay, that's smelling really good. We're going to bring some more water over. Now that the sautéing's over, we don't have that urgency factor anymore, which is good. Okay, we're going to need some more water in this one. So I want to make 5 or 6 serves of this. And as that bubbles bubbles away. If I've put too much soy sauce in, then I'm going to add more water and just kind of dilute it as it starts to bubble. Now this one over here is going to get some zucchini and tomato put into it as well. So let's get some tomatoes chopped. And just let everything kind of bubble away. Tomatoes. Well, let's put some lids on these too so that they can start to cook. I'm going to work with the eggplant next. Right, what am I up to? I think that we will put a big lid on that one. Here's the lid. That won't fit. Okay, let's get bubbling. Now this is a bit sad, this one over here. So once this one boils, I'm going to move it back up the back. And we will hope for the best. It might have been a big ask for me to cook 3 at once, but that's okay. Thinking, should I save the eggplant for another day? You know what? We're going to save the eggplant and the zucchini, and we're going to make a nice curry at the end of the week with those. And on this one with the mushroom and the carrot and the tomatoes, we are going to do rosemary. Sprinkle on and mix through, and let's give that a chance to cook up as well. So high, everything's on high, and let's see how we go over the next few minutes. Now the tomatoes and the mushrooms tend to leak out a little bit of their own liquid. So that's good. Oh, I forgot to put potatoes in here. We'll do that next. Let's let those sit for a little minute with a little bit of extra water. Because if we add water, it won't burn. Starting to heat up. Yes, okay, good. So, potatoes. I'm thinking at least 2. That's starting to boil, so that's a great sign. that's definitely boiling, so we'll take that off. Let's put some potatoes in that one. Okay, now this one's ready to simmer now. So I'm going to switch these two over and give that a chance to lightly simmer. Keep the lid on for a minute, see how we go. I will go the lid off for that for a minute, I think. Let's mix these up a little bit more. And I think I might add... no, I think that's some, oh, maybe just a tiny bit of green capsicum. That one. Just a little sprinkle of green in there. This is starting to boil now, which is great. And sorry, I disappeared because low battery. I found this broccoli too that I've got left in the freezer that I'm going to tip in with these. Okay, give this a chance to heat up. This can have a chance to simmer. This is about to go crazy boiling, so let's give it a little stir. And the problem with a lid that's a bit too big is... that smells so good. The only problem with the lid that's a bit too big is it drips onto the oven, but what can you do about that, right? I mean, get a lid that fits, obviously. Okay. So, I didn't end up using all the spices I thought I would use, but I think we're okay for now. This one might need a little more paprika. I'll give it a minute while it's cooking. This is starting to simmer again, so that's good. This is going to cook down, and I'm going to eat that on some toast for lunch today. This one's ready to simmer. So let's take the lid off that one. Okay. So because we have lentils in here and potatoes in here and this needs to cook down, I'm now going to put a 15-minute timer on and then we'll check everything from there. Are you all fogged up? So we now have a 15-minute timer on. Everything that I wanted to cook is ready. And you know what that means, right? That means now we are going to do cleanup while we're waiting for everything to cook. So, start by putting everything away, stuff in the bin that needs to go in the bin. Put the mushrooms in a container. I'm going to have to chop the mushrooms, I think. Oh no, maybe not. Capsicum, mushrooms, carrot, eggplant, zucchini, they're all going away. Just gonna put this on the counter. Alright. Bit of a bummer that I washed all the mushrooms and the eggplant too early, but we'll recover from that. Yeah, yeah, I forgot we were making pizzas tonight, so I had to save some mushrooms for that. Okay, this can go back in the fridge now. I'm taking the lid off the veggie broth as well because that is still going strong. That's for the recycling. Onions and garlic away. Potatoes away. Okay, I'm keeping the paprika and the vegeta out because actually I'm going to put some vegeta in this stuffed cabbage one because I think it needs some more flavour. And a touch more paprika. Okay. So, put the spices away now. These ones. Recycling away. This needs a rinse. I'm so glad I got that bowl out for chicken scraps before. Lentils away. Going to use a bread clip for the lentils. Scraps in the bowl. Dishes. I keep dripping water on the kitchen floor, so I have to waddle around so I don't fall over. I'm going to keep the wooden spoon out in case anything else needs a good stir. Oh yes, these do. Alrighty. This does. I still feel the need to put peas in something, but I'm not going to. I think we've done enough veggies for one day. I also dropped a lid, which I will pick up in a minute and wash. I've got potato peelings in this sink, so I'm just going to put these in with the chicken food. And then this just needs a plate over the top until it's ready to go up to the chicken. It's plastic free July, so I'm trying really hard not to use as many single-use plastics. Some still come in, you know, the broccoli packet, the container for the mushrooms. It's really hard to get. Actually, it's not. It's not hard at all to get mushrooms without plastic, but it's hard to get them from Aldi without plastic. We're fogging up in here, everybody, so I'm going to open the window because the fan on the oven's too noisy. Right, now, counters are looking better. We'll just give them a wipe down. Mushrooms are almost done. these look great. These two are both simmering away. Okay. I will address the lack of containers when that happens. If I get to the point where I realise I'm out of containers, then I will send children to neighbouring houses and see if anybody else has some. But I have some in here that need washing, and I'm sure I have some in the freezer holding things that really shouldn't be there anymore. So I think we'll be okay. Alright, there's one counter clean. This one's clean too, which means I can unstack the dishwasher if needed. Alright. Things are feeling a little crazy in here today. Toast. I'm going to have toast with my lunch. So you might have seen this in a live video before, but every week or two we make 2 loaves of rosemary and olive bread because it's amazing and it's easy to make and we love it. I'm going to have that with my lunch today. Oh, or maybe not. I might have a bagel. Yep, I'm going to have a bagel. Low battery again. Looks like I'll disappear in a few minutes. But that's okay, because if I run out of battery and we're done early, then I will update you on Instagram with a photo. I'll put a photo on Instagram of how everything turned out. So if we lose each other, we will find each other again. It's fine. Let's microwave a bagel. I know I just talked about how good rosemary bread was, but bagels are amazing too. So I've got 12 minutes left on the timers. The mushrooms and tomatoes, carrot, capsicum, these are done and are looking amazing. Everything else is simmering really, really well. So even though it was a little chaotic for a while, I think we're doing good. Yeah, this looks really good, really nice. Okay, I've just turned the burner off for the mushrooms. And I'm going to pop this bagel in the toaster now that I've defrosted it. It just needs to be chopped. Hope it hasn't felt too chaotic to you. It's felt a little chaotic to me in here today, cooking 3 dishes at once. But that's what you get when you don't want to waste the produce, right? Okay, so normally at this point I would do the hand dishes, unstack the dishwasher and stack it again, but because lunch is ready, I'm going to stop, eat, finish the video and then come back and do the rest. So once I finished eating lunch, I'm going to come back, do the dishwashers, do the dishes. The soups will be ready by then, so then I'll put those in bowls to cool down in single portions, and then I'll transfer them into containers and put them in the freezer. So if you want to follow up and see what happens after this, I'll put photos and short videos on Instagram, or I'll do some shorts on YouTube, so you'll definitely see what happened. But in the meantime, I'm going to give you one more look at everything so that you can see how they're turning out. Sorry about looking at my nose just then. Let's flip the camera. Are we flipping? I'm trying to flip you, but it's, oh, there we go. Okay, so this is today's lunch. It's just sauteed mushrooms, tomatoes, carrot and capsicum with rosemary and water and onion and garlic. That's going to go on my bagel, or next to my bagel. I'm at least going to eat half of that, but I may eat the whole lot because I'm pretty hungry. This is our veggie broth. I think I'm going to add a little bit more water to this just to dilute it a little because a quarter of a cup of soy sauce might have been too much. And this is our lentil cabbage roll style flavored soup. And that's going to be amazing over rice. And that's it. Thank you for joining me today. It got a little crazy, but I think it turned out okay in the end. I'm excited to eat all these things over the next week or so. I'm glad we used the rest of the cabbage. We'll use up the rest of the mushrooms tonight. Eggplant I'm going to use in a couple of days, and I think I'll do kind of a curried stew with some potatoes in there and some turmeric and some cumin and paprika, and just make a really, oh, I put some onions in there too, and make a really comforting stew for that. So yeah, that's the plan. Anyway, I was going to say goodbye anyway. So that's the plan, is to eat up all that lovely food. My bagel is ready, which is a sign for me to say goodbye and eat my lunch, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.